Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of MTV Catfish, Season 8, Episode 29, Jason and Ma. Baby, look at y'all. This Catfish was something else. I'm glad we got back to the rude, mean Catfish because lately we got these sob story Catfish, which is felt for them. And they story and stuff like that. So you couldn't really get one. But this one, I could go in a little bit. I ain't gonna make this video too long, but I just got some stuff to say because it's crazy on both ends, Jason and Ma. I got something to say, and I'm wearing the red shirt today, y'all, because it represents the red flags that a lot of Jason was freaking missing and just ignoring. And I just don't know how 2020 you can still get a Catfish and know all the technology on the terms to watch the shows. It's stuff out there for you to know. And people, it goes to show people who get so desperate for love, they just go blindly and they just ignore everything because they want somebody to want them so badly. And sometimes you just gotta learn that you can't focus on your love and friendship, love for someone just because they give you attention. It's like that. Just I know it be lonely. I know it be desperate. I know you be sad, depressed, or anything. But sometimes take it slowly and then be rushing into things. But when you rush, you just ignore a lot of things. When you take it slowly, you start seeing things. Okay. So Marcella wrote the show. Marcella is the sister of Jason. Well, basically a best friend, but they call it brothers and sisters. So I'm going to say sister. Sister of Jason. They met in college, and she wrote the show and said, listen, I need you help for my brother Jason. He's being catfished by this guy named Ma. He met him on a hookup app named Jack. You know, Jack is a social hookup app for gay men. And yes, I said gay men. And he been talking to this person named Ma for 2 months. And not only that, she found out that he be sending him money. I said, oh my gosh. Money. You gotta learn, especially a lot of these young boys and stuff like that. Especially, I'm gonna let you know, a lot of young gay men love to get money from people. They love, because they might not work in themselves, they might not make enough money. Now these days, a lot of young gay, they don't really care about working hard and putting the effort to making money. They get money from other people, so they looking for sugar daddies. They look for people who support them and all that stuff. And they could say or do whatever they want to do to make you feel good enough to keep sending the money. And they don't care nothing about pursuing anything from you. It's just the money, and that's the money talks. Okay. And that's it. Send him money. She said he sent him like $500, over $500. And basically sent him the $500 to a cash app to his friend Cash App, a woman named Amber, whatever the name, Amber Bunny, sent it to a friend Cash App. I said, wow, you gonna send this person money through his friend Cash App. Jason. We find out Jason is 32 years old, he lives in California, and he's a preacher. I said, oh. I know they got good hearts and they want to think that that's best of people, but you really had to be cautious and open and just take a step back. But we find out Jason went through a divorce and he been with this person for 3 years. He was married with a guy. They got divorced, separated and everything, and a week after the divorce, that's when he started talking to Ma. Now, he was in Vegas at the time, so he was on Jack app, and I think it was the last day of his vacation. He met Ma, and that's when they started talking. They never met there because Ma said he had to go to work, so he came back to California. He said, good. They only been texting on the phone. They never video chatted. They never talked on the phone. And Ma stood him up twice. I said, oh, all that red flags. Like, you see the red? Like, come on. Red. Like, come on. How you not to know? It's crazy. So it was one time he was trying to get Ma to come to California, and they trying to meet. So he bought him a bus ticket. He was waiting for him. Didn't show up. He said what was going on. And then when he tried to call, he got a female answering the phone. I said, female? I said, ooh. A female answered the call, and that's it. They really say much, hang up. So I was like, wow. So we got all that background story. So they got Jason on a Zoom call, and then he expressed more and stuff like that. And he mentioned about him being married and getting divorced and all that stuff. And a week later, he just felt so hard for it. He looking for love, and he got good with Ma because he's just started falling for Ma because Ma has been open. He be sending him good morning texts, there for you, all that stuff. He feel appreciated. He feel valued. He feel wanted. And I said a week later, you feel. I mean, yes, he went through a bad divorce, so maybe you might want somebody to pick you up. But not go full force in a relationship after you just got divorced. Like, you should have just calmed down a little bit. I mean, he says they were separated and they're going to divorce, but it is what it is. This ain't divorce. It's ex-husband. And that's that. And we find out Ma is 21 years old, live in Vegas. He worked as a security guard. And all that stuff. So they would say, what make him so dateable? What make him like the prime candidate for your love and affection for someone who could be the one for you so quickly? Why is this falling so hard? It's unnatural for you to do that. I mean, people do fall hard quick. But what about him? You never met him. You never talked on the phone. You never video chatted. Never met in person. It's like, what? What about him? And you sending him money because he said when they talk on the phone and something, he reluctant to even talk on the phone because he might be asking somebody for Uber. They said Uber for going to work, there and coming back, work and going to work and coming back for work, or Uber, okay. But he said nah, so he ended up sending him money through the Cash App, and that's when he mentioned that it sent him through his friend Cash App. So they would say, oh my gosh, all that red flags, boy, look, red. And you still trying to go along. So he want the help. He said, need Cammy, can you help me please? Like, baby, please, baby, please help me. And he said the reason why he did go for so hard is that he opened up. He kept a secret. He said he's positive, HIV positive. And it's not something that he's discussed as much, but he wanted to be open, honest, which it does take very hard because in the gay community, HIV is a stigmatization. I mean, it's more acceptable, but it's still a stigma for a lot of people. So they dating. That's why HIV positive men have a harder time dating. It's very hard as it is dating with two men and men dating together. But it's a harder time when somebody open up being HIV positive. And then other people say, "Oh my God," because they like. It's no big deal what they don't know, but now that they know, they put all the blockers up. So it's very hard for them to find love. So that's why sometimes some of them be desperate when they find someone who's accepting and willing, and they're willing to go whole hard, full force with the person. But sometimes you gotta wait it out. You gotta wait it out. Just because you can say, "Oh yeah, no problem, I'm on prep and everything, I'm good," all that stuff. That's why he made him fall so hard for him. But you gotta be careful because. We'll see, because some people do have this stigmatization. They will shame you or degrade you just because your status. And you could be a good person, working hard, making good money, being healthy, and all that stuff. But they still shame you just because that one part of your who you are. That you got to live with it. But somebody will shame you for it. So that's why it's hard for them to even date. But it's good to open up and be honest. Because if you all be honest straightforward, people will be more accepting who will willing to be with them for you. So I don't understand why he's so trying to jump the hurdle with him, especially with all these red flags, and he getting red flags, getting all this money and stuff like that. He's not the only person who will accept your status. He's not the only person who will accept you are. It's other people who were looking for love, who is willing to be with someone who's positive. But he just want to go jump force. So they saw investigation. They did a photo search. Nothing really came up with that. Okay? So then they did the phone number search. And it came up with someone from Nevada named Eric Jr. And it said, and 50 years old. So it said, oh, it's an older guy. So they searched the name and it came up with a matching Facebook page. And it has the name Eric Jr., 50, married, and married in Vegas, all that stuff. So they would say, what's the odds of him be doing this? Like, maybe he want to be in Dallo and I'm gonna search people on apps and being someone, and what's make him what make him want to ask for money when you marry all that stuff? It doesn't make any sense. And it does say that support your local cops and security guard. And Ma mentioned that he's working as security guard. So it was like, but why? So that's a possibility. It could be Eric Jr. They think it could be the ex-husband because they was like, what's going on? Did you something happen with the ex-husband that he could be catfishing you and getting back at you or whatever? Because they could be a scorn lovers. And he said the reason why the last straw, him and his ex-husband broke up and got mad on divorce is because he bought his second car. He let his ex-husband use the car. That person took the car and ran away with it and never came back with it. Never came back. Don't even know what's happened. Just split gone. And they couldn't follow up because they said because he's the husband, they didn't think it was a theft. I said, what? Really? So the person, I think he wasn't really responding to him, texting calls, but he finally found a person, and no. He finally reached out. I guess he answered calls like that. He said he only called or texted like that when he really want money. So maybe thinking it's a big ex-husband. Then they was like, you know what? After they searched it, they would say, you know what? Let's call the number that you gave us. Because you said when you called that number, it was a female. So let's call it and see if it is. They go call it from the phone because maybe he will recognize that number, and that's that. So when they called it, yes, a female picked up. She said, hello. He said, hello, you got the number call from them? You calling me from this number? I'm just calling them back. Hang up, click. I said, all right, that's the first time you hang up on Neve. Do that again, girl. We're going to have problems, all right? Neve called again. And he said, I'm sorry, and just I made a mistake and all that stuff like that. I'm Neve from Catfish and everything, and I'm a friend of Jason. I just want to know, to get in and help, get information about Ma and everything. Click. I said, listen, chick. Hang up again. Hang up one more time. We got it. Listen, I got my crew. We could come and get it. All right? So hang up. So Neve said, never text. I said, Neve, you better be very persistent with the calling and texting. Like, you call twice and you text back to back. But that person answered the text and said, oh, okay, what do you want me to do? No, before that. They read the text, but nothing else happened. The person read the text and there was no response immediately. So they said, no, what? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. You come back. All right? But Jason, come on, boy. Like, it just seems it's so unnatural. So they got Jason on. They put Jason up to speed. Said it could be a female. It could be an ex-husband. It could be somebody else. We don't. It could be that older guy. We don't know. And he said he's not interested in that older guy. And he said he has a type. He like young, light-skinned boys. I said, oh, you need to open your options, boy. You need to open your options, especially if you want to stick with the youngs. You got to wonder the possibility that a lot of them want money. You 32 years old. You is not that younger than me. I'm 34. You know, you should know the game. You should know the game. You should know that a lot of the young ones now don't value the respect of working hard. So they looking for payouts. So you should know that, especially if you keep asking for money. You should know it was something going on with him. Okay? Alright, so they took a break. So they came back. So after Neve texted the person, he said, listen, this is Neve for Catfish. We got something going on. We need some information. Get me up quickly, pronto, let's go. And the next day, he got a text from Ma saying that, oh, if you want to know who the catfish is, ask Jason. I know I effed up, but so did he. We was like, what? Okay, so they took Jason, and Jason said, I don't know, what's going on? And he said, did you meet? Because it's in a couple of times we met a female. Have you ever dated a female? Because it was a female answering the calls. And he said, yeah, he had dated a female a year ago. We said, whoa, hold up. A year ago, put a stop. Red, stop. A year ago, you say he was married for 3 years. So that means you was having an affair while you were married? Jason, that's not good. That's not good. So who was this person you was messing with? You probably broke that person hard, and then they go doing revenge on you. They're going to go full force trying to destroy your life or something like that. Trying to get what you got because you hurt their heart. He said, no, I ain't going that any far. and everything. It was just a kiss, but I ain't want to call it an affair. I said, that's an affair. Did you tell the person you was married? He said, no. I said, oh, now you hide it. Now, oh, come on now. You want to be truthful to your status, but you didn't want to tell the person that you was married. Oh, my gosh. Really, Jason? And he said, no, I just know what can I do that was so hard. Even though he did had that spill, and that was messed up in his part. So maybe the ex-husband find out. Maybe she want to get revenge. All that stuff. But I could still feel that he wasn't a bad, vindictive person. So it was like, okay. They text Mars and said, listen, get on the Zoom. We need to get information. We need to end this right now. He said, okay, what do you want me to do? Get on the Zoom. Got on the Zoom, and lo and behold, it's him. The same person when they showed the picture, the first picture of this episode, they showed it was actually him. I said, why we go to this whole dance and this is actually this person? Actually the person. He came in. His name is Omar. He had a big ass Omar chain on. I said, what the hell? You using that money to get that chain or something? What the hell? Big Omar chain. Sitting there like a pussy. Like, I said, oh, Miss Thing, what is going on? What the? So his name is Omar. He is 21 years old. He lives in Vegas. And basically he was like, listen, the woman that was answering the phone call, he said, if I don't know the number, I would get somebody else to answer the phone call. So the person who was answering the call was his roommate. Female. So he was like, the reason why I was going through all that, because I didn't want him to know my name. I said, you met through the app, so he really don't know your name anyway. So why you didn't was so hard and going through all this so he won't get to know your name? I mean, if y'all been talking back and forth, why not discuss the name? So you was going through all that for him not to get your name? Okay. Whatever, you put Ma, so it ain't really hard to put the O in front of it. It's going to be Omar, but he ain't want to get them a name. So I said, all right, you didn't want the name. Okay, go through all that. And then he said, no, he said, so if you want that, so why you keep sending money from me? He said, well, oh, duh, why you going to send the money? He said, because I didn't want him to think that I was serious enough to be in a relationship with her, and I didn't want to continue to be in one, and I didn't want to be serious in a relationship. So why you keep sending the money from me, and you telling me that you want to be in a relationship with me and want to be with me also? I said, that's your fault. You quickly want to jump the ship. After a week after your divorce, you want to jump the ship and be in a relationship. You should have took a break. Take a break. You would be moving too fast, Jason. But at the same time, he does, like, if you saying all this stuff, it got him thinking that it's something and sending you money. What is? He said, oh, yeah, of course I'm going to keep saying whatever I want you to hear. Because you were giving me money. You think I'm going to stop? You think I'm going to stop? They said, look at me. Look at this. I said, look at you. What is it? He just a young little dude, thinking he could use their light skinness and cute, little handsome looks and everything, and think everybody will be falling for you and want to give you money. Little feminine as well like that. So, what is it? And then he said, oh, the reason why I said I messed up, but he did something too, and he effed up, is because he was a catfish. I said, what are you talking about? They said, oh, the picture is not him. So they said, oh, that is me. I used a picture like 2 years ago. It's like that. So they showed the picture. It looked exactly just like him. It's just an old picture. And I said, look at me. When I show pictures of myself and show pictures in the past and everything, I look kind of the same. I look just the same. I don't really age. People say, you don't really age that much. I look just like the same. People think, when I get my hair cut and everything, people think I'm a teenager. Because I look so young. So, no. And you looked at the picture, it exactly was the picture. So I said, what is this boy talking about? He said, oh, I don't care. You know what? He's not that cute to me. He's unattractive. And you know what? He told me he HIV. And I'm not dealing with that. I said, oh my gosh. Boy. You just show your true self behind, huh? So you shaming him. Say he's ugly. Say he got HIV. So you didn't want to deal with that. But it was good to get his money. It was good for him to be your sugar daddy. But you not attracted to him, and you don't be comfortable with his status. So you try to shame him and think he's unqualified to be a mate. Really, boy? You just sit your behind down and think, you better hope you don't get it. You better hope people You know what I'm saying? People should see the show and see who you are and stay away from you. You be a miserable old dude, act like nobody don't want you, because then I saw this show and see who you really are. Who you really are. To shame this man, keep getting his money, all because what? And degrade him too. Act like he was the less than than you. But you was begging for his money. What are you doing? He's out work on the strip. Strip doing what? Doing what? Boy, bye. And then he got himself trying to come at Cammy. I said, you don't mess with Cammy. Nuh-uh, not with Cammy. Nuh-uh. You don't do that. You don't do that, boo. You don't, not with Cammy. And he was like, oh, calm yourself down. Don't be coming at me like that. You dismiss. You dismiss. I said, who you dismissing? You can't dismiss the host. You dismiss. You canceled. You unqualified. You got no credentials here, boy. So what the hell you talking about? She dismissed. Dismiss. I said, boy, you boy bye. You dismissed. Well, and that little thing right there you got, man, and that little attitude you got all this ish. People will see this show, and you know you're going to be national television. So people will watch this and see how you is. See how you are. And how much luck you get. How much luck will you get when you being exposed on television? Okay? But that was MTV Catfish, y'all. The follow-up, he didn't see from him. He said, oh, I will pay the money back. They said, oh, pay the back right then and there. He said, I'll do it after the show. You never going to pay him back. So, he never paid the money back. He did some soul searching. They said he going to do everything. He got to do what's right. Never heard from him. Jason never heard from him. Jason said he going to move on, go focus on his life, and do him. And that's that. But that was MTV Catfish, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel. And I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.